All right, today we're going to do something a little different. We're not just going to talk about grammar, we're going to talk about storytelling. So I want you to forget everything you remember about Dusteel textbooks. For the next few minutes, you and we're going to be film directors. We're going to learn how one tiny change in a sentence can totally redirect your audience's attention. So let's roll the camera. Okay, check this out. On the left, you've got "The man stole my bicycle." The spotlight is right on him, right? He's the main character in this little drama. But now look at the right. "My bicycle was stolen." Poof! The man is gone. He's vanished. And suddenly, our focus snaps right to the bicycle and the crime itself. It's the exact same story, but it feels completely different. So what's going on here? How does that little word flip work its magic? And, more importantly, why would the director, the writer, choose one version over the other? That is the secret we are unlocking today. Okay, let's kick things off with the why. Using the passive voice isn't some grammar mistake you need to avoid. No way. It's a power move. It's a deliberate choice a writer makes to add emphasis, maybe a little mystery, and to make sure you, the audience, are looking exactly where they want you to look. So the number one top of the list reason to go passive is when the thing that happened, the action, is way more important, way more interesting than whoever did it. The action itself gets to be the star of the show. I mean, look at this. 1 million pounds were donated. Whoa, right? That's the headline. That's the amazing part. Who actually did the donating? Well, in this sentence, that's kind of secondary. We're all focused on that incredible result, that huge sum of money. Okay, reason number 2. This one's all about mystery or sometimes just irrelevance. We use the passive voice when we honestly have no idea who did the action. Or other times, maybe we do know, but it's just not important enough to even mention. Think about this one. This beautiful bridge was built in 1732. Do we know the names of the individual builders from back then? Probably not. And does it really matter for us to appreciate the bridge now? Nope. The focus is squarely on the bridge, its age, its history, not the construction crew from centuries ago. And our third big reason is, well, it's when the person doing the action is just so ridiculously obvious that actually saying who they are would be redundant. Everybody already knows, so we just leave it out and make the sentence cleaner, So, if you hear, "Bill was arrested last night," do you really need me to tell you who did the arresting? Of course not. I mean, who arrests people? The police. The actor is a given, so the passive voice lets us just cut straight to the chase. Okay, so we've totally nailed the why. We get it. Now let's pull back the curtain and look at the what. What even is the passive voice mechanically? It might sound all complicated, but trust me, there's a super simple, repeatable formula behind the whole thing. And here it is. This is it, the secret recipe. This is the blueprint for every single passive sentence you will ever see. You just take the object, the thing the action happens to, and you move it to the front. Then you add the right form of the verb to be and follow it with the past participle. That's just that third form of a verb, like eaten, stolen, or built. Now, what makes this little formula so incredibly cool is how consistent it is. The only piece that ever really changes is that verb, to be. It can be is or are in the present, was or were in the past, or even has been for more complex tenses. But that core structure, it never, ever changes. It's rock solid. All right, theory's great, but let's get our hands dirty. How do we actually take a regular active sentence and flip it into a passive one using our new formula? Let's put this thing into action. It's really just a simple 5-step process. First up, you find the object, the thing that's receiving the action. Step 2, you grab that object and move it right to the front of your new sentence. 3, you pop in the correct be verb. 4, you add the past participle of the main verb. And then step 5, and this one's totally optional, if you still want to say who did it, you can tack them on at the very end with the word by. It's like a recipe you can follow every time. And you can see how this recipe just works no matter what tense you're in. I eat an apple becomes an apple is eaten. They repaired their bikes turns into their bikes were repaired. See that pattern? The be verb changes to match the tense, but that core combo of be plus the past participle, it's there every single time. It's that consistent. And listen, this isn't just some quirky little grammar trick. This is a fundamental, cornerstone part of the English language. You see it everywhere in formal situations, from news reports to scientific papers, because it lets the writer control the focus and sound really objective. Now, before we wrap up, I've got one last pro tip for you. This is the one. This is the rule that separates the amateurs from the true masters of the passive voice. It's all about knowing what you can't do. The secret here has to do with something called an intransitive verb. Now, I know that sounds super technical and boring, but don't worry. All it means is a verb that doesn't have an object. It's an action that isn't done to anything. Think about verbs like arrive, or sleep, or die. Just look at the difference here. It makes it so clear. On the left, I bought a coffee. What did I buy? A coffee. Bam, we have an object. But on the right, I arrived late. Did I arrive something? No, of course not. The action just happened. There's no target. And that leads us to the golden rule. You ready? If a sentence doesn't have an object, you cannot, I repeat, cannot make it passive. Remember our formula? It starts by moving the object to the front. Well, if there's no object to begin with, the whole recipe falls apart. No object, no passive. It is literally that simple. So there you have it. You know the why, the what, and the how. You've even got the secret pro tip. So now the mission is yours. I want you to go out into the world and become a passive voice detective. And seriously, keep your eyes peeled, because once you know what you're looking for, you are going to see this thing everywhere. Scan newspaper headlines, they absolutely love it for being punchy. Skim a scientific report, it's used to sound objective and formal. Heck, even turn on the subtitles next time you watch a movie, it's hiding in plain sight. So the next time you're reading a news article or a formal email, just ask yourself, is the writer pulling a director's move on me here? Are they using the passive voice? And why? What do they want me to focus on? Because once you see it, you can never unsee it.